Young adults in Cafh. In this full moon assembly, you will hear reports of many commissions on different aspects of Cafh as we look into the future. Our report begins with what we have characterized as the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is something that everyone knows, but no one wants to talk about. In this case, it is the aging of Cafh and the relative lack of interest in Cafh by young adults. This issue has bearing on all other considerations as we look into the future. Our commission has looked into and interviewed many young adults and others in Cafh, and we think we have something to offer in this regard. We begin with a quote from Don Santiago. It is from the Full Moon Message of 1955. Open the doors of your heart to all souls, sons and daughters of Cafh. Love, that powerful magnet, will attract them. Do not let spiritual life be disconnected from human life. Let it be a single expression of the divinity. After much listening and discussion amongst other young people and team members, we have been reminded that people, young or old, are attracted to Cafh in proportion to the real love they experience in that contact. There is no substitute. This is as true today as it was 70 years ago when it was stated in that full moon message. This slide shows the team members. While most are from North America, interviews were done with young people and individuals in both North and South America. What was striking was that despite living in different countries, what we heard was very similar no matter where they lived. The younger generations may be more alike than different since the advent of the digital world. The internet, smartphones, social media influence their lives in similar ways, despite the usual differences of language and culture. This slide shows the age distribution of Cafh members. At the bottom, you see ages. The bars represent the number of members in each age group. The median age for a Cafh member is 59.5 years old. The proportion of members 40 years or younger is 9%. The portion of members 30 years or younger is 3%. In this slide, you can see very quantitatively the aging of Cafh that most of us know experientially. While we could ask the question, how can we attract more young adults to Cafh? We think a better question is, how can we make Cafh known and relevant to young people now and in the future? This question leads to further questions. What are young people seeking that Cafh might provide? What changes in Cafh would be helpful in this regard? And how can I personally help? These questions have guided us in this report. What have we begun to learn from young people during our interviews? First, time is short, life is fast, there's little time for reflection. Second, information overload. The world is full of possibilities and information is coming at us like a fire hose. The world is full of conflict. Conflicts that we read in the newspaper are also reflected in interpersonal relationships and make connections with others often difficult. Eco-anxiety in some places is widespread, with uncertainty and fear of the future a background noise that everyone hears. Most are not looking for a spiritual path. They're all actually looking for help to solve the problems of living. What are some of the impediments of young people in Cafh? First, for many, it's just unknown. And if it is known, it seems irrelevant to their lives. Secondly, Cafh may be known through an extension activity, but the extension activity that attracted them to Cafh turned out to be far different than the reunion experience. There are examples of individuals who came to extension activities, entered Cafh, and left after a few reunions. They found, or some may find, teachings are boring. Uh, they're, the learning in the reunion can be in a didactic style that seems more like indoctrination than discovery. Vows often don't make sense to people in a world full of continuous change. Commitment to attending a weekly reunion is not possible or desirable considering all the other responsibilities and opportunities available. Ceremonial aspects can seem anachronistic, leaving some people to have wondered, is this a cult? What are the attitudes that we need to take? We need to listen to those concerns voiced by young people, creating sincere connections and a genuine safe space, validating and working with those concerns, and teaching others how to work with those concerns via meditation, dialogue, for example. Love, care, friendship are foremost. Opening the doors to our hearts is the attitude that we need to take. An image can sometimes be helpful. The image here is that Cafh is a four-course prefix meal. It has vows, daily meditation exercises, themes, themes of meditation, weekly reunions, periodic retreat, ceremonies, dress, special greetings. That is not exactly what young people are necessarily looking for. Young adults are more interested in something else than a four-course meal. A la carte, fast food, organic food. They're looking for friendship. They're looking for a safe space. They're looking for horizontal communication, that is, communication amongst peers and others. They're looking for something that's nutritious, that they can use quickly in the lives that they're living. Young people are looking for what we could call spiritual technologies. Spiritual technologies are those technologies that can be taught, experienced, and applied to daily life and brought into our culture. Cafh has profound and useful and relevant technologies that can be taught, experienced, and applied to daily life. It's another way of looking at what we do. Silence, the meditation exercises, dialogue, stopping, interdependence, renouncement, egoance, namely the participation in daily life as part of the whole. All of these things can be seen as technologies. There are ongoing pilot projects in many different countries to build upon these kinds of insights. Not only are attitudes, but structures have been changed to put into practice these attitudes. These include increased flexibility with respect to reunion times, and reflexibility with respect to the parts of the reunion, a relaxation of ceremonial aspects that sometimes have gotten in the way of communication, the use of more physical exercises and art projects to understand the teachings in a different way than through words alone, interactive learning with applications to daily life, and horizontal learning, which is the communication amongst participants and not strictly learning from an orator. The application of spiritual technologies, the way the word is being used, should not be foreign to us, because that's the way we actually apply spiritual life in our daily lives. Other innovations have included groups that have some people with vowels and some without. Vowels are left more as an individual choice than as a measure of what group a person's going to be in. Groups of peers have been experimented with, where there has been issues of integrating young people with the older groups have sometimes not worked out that well. An emphasis has been put on learning rather than spiritual unfolding. It's just a way of talking about things in a little different context. The teachings of Cafh are not taught as a course, but instead as they come up naturally as the group discusses something like love. A good example would be a group that has been discussing love for a long number of reunions, and the issue of sacrifice comes up. The issue of sacrifice led naturally into the group being exposed to the course sacrifice, but it came up in an organic way from the group rather than being imposed by it. This report is just the beginning of um, of this discussion of young adults in Cafh. But so far we could say that opening the doors of our hearts means making welcoming changes to adapt to the realities of everyday life of young adults as described. It means becoming more widely known and available, especially on the internet. It is likely that you have your own ideas and experiences about this topic, and we need all contributions. Please email contributions to jovens@cafh.org. Thank you very much.